Oh my god, what is happening? I'm so dizzy. Damn. Okay. So, I get contacted from JVC a long time ago, a couple months ago, and they're like, hey, we got our TVs are coming back out. Do you want to review our new 55-inch television? Actually, they asked me what size, and I was like, judging the space that I have to do things. And I'm like, yeah, better send only the 55. And I'm glad, because, well, you'll find out in a minute. Anyway, so this is a 55-inch JVC. Remember JVC, Japan Victor Company? You know, that was a big deal back in the 80s and the 90s. Japan, everyone makes the best stuff in Japan. Japan's the best stuff. So I'm like, hell yeah. You coming back to the TV market? I remember my dad loved your shit when I was a kid. He was, yeah, okay, great. So they sent me a TV that's got no labeling on it. In fact, the only label that told me what the fuck to look up is that piece of blue tape that says QLED XYZ. No model number, no price. They just sent it to me. It arrived in a no-frills box. They're like, it's going to come in a no-frills box. Whatever, it's fine. The remote should be the correct remote. Fine. It's got a nice thin bezel. This nice thin bezel. It's 4K. 60, no HDR. And it claims to have quad pixels, which you could actually get close enough. You could see the patterning is not quite square. I know when I got that Vizio, the patterning on that is much more lines, and you could see it. Because I use these 4K monitors as my computer monitors. Because nothing is better for productivity than sitting down and whipping out all your emails like that. Like, I don't even have to full screen. I full screen almost no applications on my computer because what benefit is that now? Oh my god, that's too much. Literally my web browser floats. What page is on my web browser? Boom. Searching for the JVC. Here, look here. I did my vertical tabs. There's a tree-style tabs in Firefox if you want to have a vertical tab array. And there's my thing, and I just push it to the side, and then I can keep, you know, Telegram open on this, and I could talk to Cheese about monkey butthole tattoos. This is all very good and great. 40-inch 4K. I love it. Love it for productivity. I could do my emails. I could have a million things on the screen. I love it. So, I think 40 is a good size. I can go a little bit smaller, 36 maybe. This Samsung and that Vizio, and now this JVC. Now, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to complain about this JVC a lot. Oh, a lot. Right now, in fact, we're just going to bitch for a while. I hope I'm in camera. I don't feel like filming this twice. I've given you guys a great wallpaper, which will be available for download in the description, as I shit on this JVC. And here's the reason. When I got this TV, I figured, okay, JVC's coming back in the market. I asked them if it was OLED. They're like, no, the next revision of TV, that'll be OLED. So, all right, JVC's coming out. Now, let me ask you something. If you stop making TVs for like, I don't know, 15, 20 years, and then you come out and you start handing them to reviewers on the internet, oh, we're going to get our name out there. What do you think the price point is that you decide to go with? Do you think you go with like something a little bit more high-end, so it's got a lot, so someone who's got 123,000 followers will be like, oh man, this TV is the tits? Or do you send me a $350 Walmart television? Which is what this is. I got that TV for $300, last one at Costco. And a year later I replaced it with that TV, that's Samsung, which is a much better picture quality television with maybe not better controls and features, but the startup time is instant, where this one takes like 14 seconds. Literally 14 seconds from powering on before picture happens. That's 3 seconds. This one isn't bad, actually. Here, we can shut it off. Wait. Nothing freaking out? Okay. Turn it on. JVC logo. On. Nice and fast. That came back, everything's great. You get what you pay for. And a $350 television sold at Walmart. I'll link to Amazon because I kind of have to, even though the only one on there is used right now. The 65-inch is still available. The 65-inch is like $400. These are bottom of the range televisions. I will say this. All right, I'm gonna give it some praise. For $350, this would have been unimaginably good a decade ago. That said, when you get really close to the situation, you can see that it's gray on the edges. So the edges are gray, no edges are gray there. And if I was able to turn this screen, which, I don't know, some sort of miracle of science would have to exist. Oh wait, I will link the monitor arm bar in the description. You get a nice even pattern of color. These are smaller screens. These are 40 and 43. But this 55, you literally are here, and that gray has extended to the middle of her face. So unless you're, I mean, I'm not that far off fucking center. Like, this is center. This is center, and it looks good. I'm about far enough away now that I would say this is our living room. Looks fine. This is fucking fine. As soon as I slide over, left side's ruined. I've moved a foot. I'm not even past the edge of the television there, and I'm about 6 feet away. So, viewing angle, horse shit. So, what's next to complain about? Let's adjust the color. Let's go into the menu. Because I'm a tweaker. I do a lot of visual calibration. I've got a Sony GDM FW900 in my bedroom. And as soon as this TV is out of here, because I've told my friend he could just have it. He could just have it. You just need a TV here, have it. Take it away. He'll be very happy. But as soon as this is gone, I'm putting on this desk here the greatest CRT ever made. And then you'll know what fucking colors look like for the first time in your life. Because I'm a tweak freak, and I like to adjust things. And I don't have a calibrator that you sit on the screen, and I don't even know if they'd make one that'll work with a CRT anymore. And it's hard to get ones that work with projectors, so I just don't even bother. I made a bunch of calibration images. I'll link those in the description. And you could basically go through them, and you can see what neutral gray is. And if neutral gray looks like it has blue in it, take some blue out. Always take things out. Don't add, if you can avoid it. And you could just sit there and look at flesh tones, and even anime girls have flesh tones. All them white girls, white imaginary girls. So you can just get like the reds out, make sure they don't look green like aliens. You know, you could just dick with colors, and it's usually fine. The problem with a TV like this, which by the way, here's the remote. Notice that it doesn't go down right now, right? Down, no. How about if I point it to the right side of the TV? No. How about if I point it to the middle? The receiver's on the left side, and if you point anywhere but there, it don't work. Don't work? Not working? Not working. You gotta be a fucking sniper. I hate that. Come on, just blink the hole bigger, something. I don't know what the fuck that shit is. Alright, what do we got? Now, I've dicked with this TV now for a couple weeks, and there are some flashy issues, which we'll get to, having to do with the backlight. But your options are currently contrast, brightness, color, sharpness, tint is disabled because of the option mode I have it in, backlight, which is on 2% because the GoPro hates anything brighter than that. Those are all very dim. I mean, they look fine. They're nice and soft on the eyes. Very soft on the eyes. But backlight, color temperature, and RGB range. That's not a lot. If I go through that menu on that Sony, or fuck that Vizio, we could be here all night. I could show you what you can go. So let's just, all right, contrast, you know what that is? I'll explain. Let's make this educational, because I'm not just gonna bitch. You might as well learn something. Contrast. That is the difference between the brightest colors and the darkest colors. So if you raise the contrast all the way to 100, it makes that change so violent that black colors just disappear into the nether, and bright colors just no detail left. It just squeezes the life out of it. And if you go the other way around, you find that perfect spot, and then all of a sudden everything's just washy gray. The whites just get gray, and the blacks come up and get gray, and live in peace and harmony. It's terrible. Brightness. That is, how do I describe brightness, actually? That's interesting. Brightness. Brightness is fucking brightness. I can't go into any more detail than that. Basically, what you want to do when you're adjusting contrast is you want to get like a white scene like that, not a solid white scene. You want to get something that has like detail, like almost there, their shirts here would have a good adjustment here, because right here where you see there's like a shadow that's going not quite white, going into a gray pattern. If you up the contrast, that would disappear. And if you lower the contrast, that would just reappear. And if you kept going, it would just get dull. Brightness is where you have just bright whites. And you bring that down until you just can still see the darkest bits on a black screen. Now color, I was pointing over there. Color. Almost every TV I've ever touched has to have the color lowered. Pretty much. Like, I'd say 99% of televisions come with the color set to 50. And 35 is, I swear to God, I don't know why this is, but 35 is the number. I've gone to 30, I've gone to 41, and I end up just like, no, this seems too rich, and 35 is like, you gotta look at it after you get out of the box and just go, wow, it's a brilliantly colorful television. And then someone who knows what they're doing is gonna come in like me. I'm gonna lower the color and you go, what'd you do? You ruined my TV. It's so boring looking now. Life's boring looking. Wait till a red thing comes up on screen and just watch that screech red. You don't want vivid colors. You want real colors. So try 35. Just take your color down to 35 for me. Will you, buddy? Do it now. Sharpness. Now, this is one I yell at my uncle about. Because TVs usually swing from 0 to 50 to 100. And sometimes they show up with the sharpness at 30 or 50 or 41 or some other weird fucking number. And since this is a digital screen, digital, that pixel there has been assigned by my computer over there. It says, hey, pixel number, let's see, this is 38, so pixel number 2804 by 219, you're black because you're the edge of her hair. And it knows exactly what color it should be. This mouse cursor, look at it, look how perfect it is because it's being told digitally what it is. Sharpness can do two things. It can make a picture dull, or it can make a picture too sharp. There is such a thing. Now, I have the sharpness on 0. Most TVs should put the sharpness to 0, especially if you're using a digital input. If you're using an analog input, an old cables box or satellite dish or a fucking Sega Master System, you could dick with the sharpness to try to fix things. But if you get a pure HDMI, by the way, nice HDMI cable I bought. I will link this in the description as well. Because you're not buying this fucking TV, so you might as well buy the HDMI cable. So, the sharpness, put down to 0. If you have text, you have like a weather channel, you've got a computer running, you open up a text document. If you watch it go down to 0, and it doesn't actually get blurry, you're golden. 0 it is. Anything above that number adds edge enhancements, and things start getting ugly around the edges. Just, don't want that. Now, I have encountered a few televisions where 50 or 32 is the middle. So, you know, it starts off wherever, you go down, and all of a sudden things start getting blurrier. It'll actually add blur. Now, that's rare, but it might happen. So again, figure it out, find where the point is where it stops being blurry and stops being overly, that's your magic number. 98% of the time, it's 0. Now, tint is disabled. Tint is the balance between red and green and skin tones. Usually you can leave it alone. I think my projector, I got that actually quirked, but that's a bulb that dies over time, and then the wheels are well, it doesn't have a color wheel. You know what tint is. Backlight. Now, that's the actual LED panel. The LEDs that are in this. It's a very thin TV, by the way. Congratulations, you have a very thin TV. Whatever. The actual backlight, the LEDs that are, I think, is this full panel or is this edge? How bright those are. Now, you don't want to adjust the brightness of the overall television with brightness. You adjust what it is on the picture. Then the actual backlight you lower for a dark room, or if you don't want to hurt your eyes, if you're sitting here, like I could stare at this all day. For some reason, this is perfectly fine to stare at all fucking day. Actually, if you don't want to stare at this all day, we could switch to Ron Burgundy.
Oh my God, she said her first words! Right now it's 82 degrees.
We're gonna pause that because we're gonna talk about the speakers next, and then we're gonna talk about the flickering after I get to backlight. Oh, backlight. No, we're on backlight. One of the major problems of this television that made me think it was broken on shipping is that the backlight, you see the flickering? No flickering. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. This is honestly just a guess. Flickering? No flickering. No flickering. Oh, a little flicker. Flickering more. No flickering. For some reason, and I think it's because it's a $350 TV, the actual drivers for the LED, at least on a portion of this screen, have failed. And if you put the backlight not specifically on like 2 or 6 or 51, or it keeps going flicker, 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 then it finds a spot where it doesn't flicker, and flicker, flicker, and it was killing me because that doesn't even make. It took me days to figure that out because I was just like, oh shit, maybe the TV's getting too hot. Lower the brightness all the way, lower the backlight all the way, put it up, open the window. So yeah, it's just shitty LED drivers, just making it blink out. Back to this. Look, I literally did that, and it didn't go. Look. Color temperature. You get 3 options. Neutral, which is neutral. Cool, which sort of brings the blue hues up. And warm, which brings the red hues up. And of course it's covering most of the screen with this see-through fucking thing, so I can't tell what it's doing at this point. But we're going to leave it on neutral. You understand what color temperature is. RGB range. Now here's the thing. Usually with something like RGB, you'd have options to adjust, fine-tune the color. Here you get full or limited. That's it. Now, the difference between full and limited is you go 255 to 0 on full, or 240 to 15 on limited, and that'll basically take the brightest brights and bring them down, and the darkest blacks and bring them up. So you get like a more average. You could see, well, you could see it there. That's limited, and that's full. So you lose all the little specks in the cloud, but also it brightens up. Like color, everything becomes a little more bold. I leave it in full because that's the most natural looking thing. That is the conclusion of the fucking adjustments for picture. That's it. That's fucking it. Now let me just, I'm gonna run you through this for a second. Hold on guys, hold on. Menu, picture. Okay, a set mode, which my name, 4K primary. The auto brightness control, there isn't even auto brightness on this. Brightness, contrast, color, tint, sharpness, again 0. Then we get more picture, picture mode edit, and color calibration. So more picture contains things like, and there actually is, hold on, in the functions menu, I want it on full. You get noise reduction, MPEG noise reduction, aspect ratio. That's it. Then there's Netflix bullshit and HDMI EDID. So you get to adjust the aspect ratio, MPEG noise reduction, which is off, noise reduction overall, which is off, and that's so if you have shitty inputs, you could do it. More picture options in the Vizio. Color temperature, again, normal, cool, or you could actually set it. Where's back? Black detail, which specifically does black detail. Active LED zones. Reduced judder. Clear action, which does a weird frame rate thing. Reduce noise. Game the latencies. Picture and size position. Then you get color space. Then you get gamma. Color space is either RGB or YCBCR. Back. That sounds great. Now it's got a fucking color calibration. You fuck. Hold on. Color tuner. We get an 11-point white balance. Or we get test patterns. Or we get a flat test pattern. Or we get to the color tuner, which is, you can see, lets me adjust hue, saturation, brightness, offset, which is the dark part of color, and gain, which is the bright part of color, or vice versa, I forget. For red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, and yellow, that's 2 hands. And you could adjust up and down 50 points for every fucking one of those boxes. And then, if that's not good enough, you can go to the 11-point white balance, and every percentage of gain, every 5% of gain, you could adjust RGB. This is that's what you want in a television to adjust the picture to perfection. This is a $350 Walmart television that sucks when it comes to that shit. Off, back, function. We've done with the menu. There's only one other thing I'm going to do. Let's play some sound out of it.
in our fair city and compare that to 48 degrees in the upper northwest and 38 degrees in the Middle East.
Off the coast of Tampa Bay yesterday.
I cannot overstate how you know, TV speakers suck. TV speakers suck. But my Vizio in the living room here, when I'm not running $6,000 Genelex, borrowed Genelex on the Vizio, if I can get the TV speakers to work, I can watch a YouTube video while cooking. It's not a big deal. They don't sound the best. They don't sound like my ohms. They don't sound like these JBLs or that action. They don't sound great, but they're listenable. Like, I don't want to vomit. But these speakers...
One lucky cameraman happened to catch an unusual aquatic daredevil. What you're about to see is a Channel 4 News exclusive.
That is... I have to give you some contrast now so that you understand. I'm going to switch to... Let me see, Spitif.
His name is Nutty the Squirrel, and he's 3 years...
Yeah.
That. That squirrel can water ski.
That's a Riva Turbo Bluetooth speaker, which is what I use for my main desk right now until I'm done reviewing other things. But it actually has vocal clarity and actual low end and stereo separation. Whatever the fuck they did with this, they did wrong. They shouldn't even have put speakers at this point. It's so bad. Okay, let's just open up some of my old wallpapers that I've used, and we'll just skip through a couple of them. You could just see, because I think it's being more exaggerated on the camera, but it really isn't. Like, it's just the darkness comes in on the angles. You ready for the funniest thing you've ever heard in your whole life? Here we go. By the way, these images are all available in older reviews. I will not link to them because I don't know where they are. Go find them. Ready?
TTS on.
Okay. Text-to-speech is now on. The remote control has Voodoo, YouTube, which is decent. I played a couple of videos on it. It's a little annoying to navigate. Netflix, which this actually came with a Netflix account signed in. And it had a weird taste. It's like a family pack. So I don't know who the fuck at JVC's family is like in Portugal, but they have this TV. I'm not even going to bother going into the modes. It's not that smart a smart TV. You got the 4 unlabeled buttons. You get picture mode.
User.
Hold on. Picture mode.
User. Dynamic. Standard. Movie. Game. User.
It reads text-to-speech, which I've never had on a TV before. But she reads things, so I could change anything I want.
16:9. Movie. Subtitle. Native. User. Standard. Music. Movie. Sports.
Oh my god, sports.
User.
By the way, I have the audio adjusted if you want to see what that looks like.
Picture. Sound. Function. Time.
This is worse than Cheese's mouse. Who remembers Cheese's mouse?
Options. Time. Options.
Woptions. Woptions.
Time. Function. Time. Function. Sound.
Then, okay, let's move over.
Sound mode user.
It means a blind person can adjust this television. Why is there blind people adjusting this television? Get a fucking radio. I'll link to the Riva Turbo or a Bluetooth speaker. I'll link to anything that's not this television. You don't need this television, blind people. To the blind people of YouTube, if you are blind, or you know someone who is blind, please ask them if they ever dreamed of a television that could read them the menus with text-to-speech. My head motion getting the fucking picture across?
Balance 0. Anal off. Surround sound off. Anal off. Surround sound off. Anal off.
Anal off. Or anal off? Or anal off? Oh god.
Surround sound off. Digital audio output PC. DAP. Digital audio DAP. Digit DAP. Digit DAP. Digit DAP. H. Sub DAP. H. DAP. Sound. Function. Sound. Sound.
And now the scariest thing was when you have text-to-speech on, because you're me and you're reviewing it, and you shut off the TV.
Power off.
So there you go. A TV made for blind people. Honestly, you want to talk about picture quality? Let's turn it on. I don't think it says power on. I'm going to step back for a second. There's got to be some positives in this review, because I kind of want to look at their OLED. There's got to be an expensive OLED somewhere. Somewhere where anime feet are not a thing. Let's go back to the main wallpaper. Considering I can't adjust the colors to my liking, to like the absolute depths, and that has great color options, and that has insanely great color options, and this has none, it's not that fucked up. It could be way worse. I'm just gonna put it out there. I gotta give a little nugget of hope. If you have one of these $350 televisions, shut the sharpness all the way down, lower the color, and you can get, that's okay. Like, I don't see any like green, there's maybe a hint of green in their skin, where there isn't, because I've calibrated it, and there actually is a hint of green in their skin too. Maybe I'll recalibrate this. Point is, the whites look still white. Skin tones are acceptable. Things are acceptable. For $350, this TV is acceptable. Right? It lacks every feature you'd ever fucking want. The viewing angle is shit. I mean, you're still going to be able to see what's on, but if you're trying to watch a movie, like an action movie, and the lights are dim, and someone isn't sitting directly in fucking line, like this is directly in line. Looks great. This looks great right here. Ruined. Corner's a fucking mess. I can't win. It's for this sort of price, for this dumb, stupid, cheap money, it's fine. It's really fine. I'm bitching too much. You wonder how many HDMI things it have? Should we flip it around? Should I use the magic? The magic of the YouTubes? Okay. Be right back, girls. Okay. I'd like to point out, as I forgot this, it has an attached power cord. Attached. Like fucking attached. Why would you do that? What could that possibly cost to have this just come out? So it's got this little wrap-up thing. Oh, it's so cute. We get to wrap up the cord and you can... Fuck it. Why is this brown? Like, this is actually really nice. Like, it's shiny, but it's like a metallic texture. Sample number TV 207710228. There's the model number, customer. The customer is JMU. The country is completely foreign language. Main board, that. Power board panel. Please do not tear this label off in case of further tracking. Well, they're going to track it to my friend's house, and he's probably going to track it into a dumpster in about 2 years. So, here's where you mount. Low mounts, because the panel's thin, so there's really no benefit to that. Then here, I love this brown. I'm really digging like the old 80s brown. Like JVC still had some of that lying around. It didn't come with any of the cables either, because there's little 3.5 millimeters here that say AV in, so no adapter for that. Then there's YPBPR, which is RGB. Then there's 2 USB ports, which I didn't plug anything into. I'm just using them for power. Side HDMI, which is what I was using. A screw-in coaxial for the tuner. You get 2 other HDMIs over here. A LAN port for networking. A coaxial audio out, which is super fucking rare, because they're usually fiber optic, and then an AV out. So there's AV in and AV out. Don't ask me what AV out is. Probably just 3.5 millimeter to RCA for hooking speakers up to your wonderful $350 television, which actually, I should test that if I gave enough of a shit. But since this thing is sold out everywhere, and I hope they never comes back in stock, I think we're done. You should turn around and be shamed. Be in shame. So here's the deal. Here's the JVC television. It's aight. It literally, it's terrible. Either one of the Samsung or that 3-now-year-old Vizio is a better television as far as up real close. I see you. Up real close, you could tell that the panel isn't as good as the Samsung. And up real close, you could tell that the Samsung and this have pretty good, like, pixels, and other than the fucking flashing, the annoying text-to-speech voice, which luckily is just a joke and you could turn off. But if you turn it on, you glue the button, no one will figure it out. The flickering backlight's a killer. That means you're selling display, and Amazon has reviews where people are having this issue. Where you're okay with the flickering and occasional fucking static. I didn't get the occasional static, but I got the flickering. So flickering, no controls to adjust things, terrible viewing angle. It's not super bad when it comes to like going through YouTube. I was able to still navigate it, but it would be nice if it was like a real TV. You'd get a remote control like this that has a fucking keyboard on the back of it. That TV has a keyboard on the back of it. It was the same price as this. I mean, it was, granted, that's a 43 and that's a 55. But I mean, get the remote game up and coming, damn JVC. This is like some standard fucking hotel room remote. What even LT? That's the, oh, there it is. I didn't realize that was the model number. It was written on the remote. Test 1 XYZ, boom. I'm now going to either leave this TV here until my friend can come get it. I'm going to tell him all about it. And show him this review probably real early before patrons even get it. And he's going to decide if he wants this TV. You know what? It's free TV. You want a free 55-inch TV? We want to go to Walmart. Fucking Walmart and spend $350. Anyway, links to everything but this TV probably in the description, because I mean, you're not going to find it. Maybe I'll link to a good TV like that Samsung or an equivalent TV. You know what? 55-inch TVs all a fucking round. 50-inch, I'm glad it isn't great though. If it was great, I'd have to put it in my living room because I have a 50-inch in here. Again, Vizio. Again, calibrated. And look, viewing angle. Exists. It's only a 1080p television. I spent $500 on that 4 years ago. When my roommate moved out, he took the TV. I spent $500 on a 1080p 50-inch. So now they got 55-inch for $350, and they're just garbage. But look, I could still look at the viewing, like the viewing. Oh, it's so nice. Look, lower pixels density viewing, great. Anyway, this is over. You will be getting that wallpaper, links in the description. Join the Patreon. The Patreon is probably going to be used for mental wellness in the future because I'm going to start strangling people. Because I thought I had a special TV here. I thought JVC was really going to... If you're going to release, come back after 15 years and you're going to show up and you're going to say, hey, reviewers out there on the internet. By the way, there's one other review of a guy, and he sounds like he's from Africa. He's got 47 subscribers. He's the only other person on YouTube that has reviewed this television. So me and him, we're going to be in good company, that guy. And maybe I'll link him in the comments somewhere. So we can like buddy up, team up, go after, I didn't actually watch much of it. I just wanted to see if there was even one available, and yeah, there you go. So support the Patreon, which will bring the subscribers and people together to, I don't give a shit. You get to see this review early and laugh a week before everybody else. I don't think these are going to be sold out. That would be another benefit if you get to see it early. You could join for the yard sales where like a bunch of this stuff. Let me point to things that are going in the yard sale. Hold on. Probably that. Not those for sure. Not this, not that. No, yes. That's a barred, so that's a no. Yes. A bunch of things. Oh, yeah, these things back here. All, well, that's someone's owns that, but these are all going in a yard sale. Maybe not that. I might sell the other one. And then all these headphones. So if you want to be in the yard sale from the 1st to the 10th, I basically say, hey, I have all this shit. Do you want to buy it? And then you correspond with the post. You follow the instructions. You give a random bid number. And in a week or 12 days, if you got an email back, you won. That's it. I just get this shit out of my house. I'll get this shit out of my house. Get this shit out of my house. Even if it's good, I can't. How many more fucking levels of headphones do I need? So join the Patreon for that or that. And there's a $10 Patreon tier, which gets you into a private Telegram chat, which is filled with over 100 members, and those 100 members will actually care if you say a question, and I will help you, and they will help you, and it's on my phone, I live there. So, benefits. Friends with benefits. I'm hungry now. This is a good review to do starving, because it really gets the anger going. It's like, I I almost don't care if JVC sends me their OLED. I feel like buying it with the Patreon money, which is what the Patreon money does. And if it's shit, I'm going to shit in it even harder than this. Because I don't want to have the company looking over my shoulder and saying, oh, you did a terrible job. I don't care. I bought it. Costco, by the way. Find artwork, contact creator, ask permission, go to Costco, print it out, boom. Goodbye, everybody. I'm tired of yelling about fucking televisions. Not physically laying them down and fucking them, but I mean, it's a possibility. A possibility. Oh, God. This is the next day after I bitched about it last night. And I turned it vertical because I just wanted to see, like, when I do my review desk, I have the vertical monitor. So I turned that vertical. And it actually works great. Like, look, the viewing angles is decent. I mean, you still got better contrast in the center. But you could totally rock a vertical 4K like this if you have the right wallpapers. That's just what that is. That's specifically for this scenario. What else do I have? Let's see. Boom, more vertical wall. It's vertical. There's frogs and stuff. I think ideally in my home I'd have probably TVs similar quality to this, just hanging up on my wall, and then just like 3 of them, and they could just show screenshots. Anybody else? Anybody else want to look at some cool? Yeah. It's alright. So this is like a last little tidbit. That's a nice little buzz you got there out of your speaker. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. It's bigger than real life. Oh, I knew she would make her way into this. There's Arya Stark. That's almost real life. Almost real life. Anyway, done with this review. Don't care. Vertical life.